Hello and welcome back. Sean here, Mountains Garage, on a blustery Monday, but it's still mid 40s and melting the dreadful snow we got last Saturday. Today's video is all about raw materials. But before I get into that, I want to say thanks to all the nice people that contact me for various reasons. Sometimes just to say thank you. I got a call last week from a man named Chewy from Tijuana, just thanking me for help because he had an old truck that belonged to his father with a Turbo 400, and he was either in the process of fixing it, the transmission, or had done so, and he just wanted to thank me for putting up videos. I mean, that never gets old. Just people are just, you know, as crazy as the world is, there's still a lot of nice people doing things we all connect on. So, another instance, I mentioned in a video that I had one Lip Wizard, you know, the cool little CD looking piece of plastic that you can install lip seals with. And this guy, out of the blue, sends me 17 of them. He collects them. Apparently, I believe it was 4L60E kits. Used to come with one. Maybe they still do, from Transtech, excuse me. And he saw a need and sent them to me. It's so nice, above and beyond. You can't, there's no way to say thank you enough, but I'll just keep making videos and hoping it's helpful to somebody. Some more than others. I'm not sure how much interest in a video like the one I'm about to do is, but let's find out. When I worked the last 4 years of a real job, I had transitioned from being the lead technician to running the parts department. And for a municipality like we had, a very big one, you have to have parts in bulk for pretty much everything under the sun. Because the concept, they were changing the concept of what was a parts department. I was supposed to have everything from toilet paper, printer cartridges. If it had to be sourced, I was the guy. And I did that for, 4 years or so, I guess, before, moving on to my illustrious career in front of the camera. Not really, but. So that was interesting, but I was geared for that already because I had always, when possible, bought, you name it, nuts, bolts, race car projects, whatever, in bulk if possible. I don't have a lot of capital to work with, but if your money can go further to get more stuff, I think it's a good thing most of the time, until such time as I'm tripping over so much stuff I can't even move, or I forget I even have it when I go to look for it. And worse yet, sometimes I can't find it. But still, like I've mentioned before, it seems to be the phrase of the week is opportunity, or being opportunistic. Today I had to go down a couple towns over to drop off some paperwork, and it occurred to me on the way down that I believe almost a year ago, last spring, I had stopped by this cool old brick building by the railroad tracks in this town. It's a sheet metal shop, or at least it is now. It has wooden floors. That's how old this place is. But to a guy that loves sheet metal manipulating equipment, you name it, they got it. Like an 8-foot box and pan brake. The thing had to have 20 fingers on it. And regular brakes and hydraulic shears and you name it. They even had a Mittler Brothers bead roller there, 24-inch. Which, let me sidebar on that for a second. When I put the Woodward Fab bead roller together 2 weeks ago today and played around with it a little bit, and I haven't got back to it yet, I am able to grab the rollers and flex the whole machine sideways with my hands. And I was disappointed. The Woodward Fab Super Bead being 5/8 of an inch thick, while still a plate style bead roller, the cheaper version, it wasn't supposed to flex. But they were worried about flex this way with the rolls going away from themselves. And the more I study, I see a lot of videos regardless of brand. When you have a lot of pressure on, say for instance, 18 gauge, the wheels will kind of go this way. Last Friday, when I had a chance to go to the speed shop and buy all those Hirsch shifters, there was a 24-inch Mittler Brothers, might have been a 36 even. Now it's a 24-inch Mittler Brothers, one of the blue ones, not the billet aluminum one. They sell a billet aluminum, horseshoe style, and the blue one that's welded up. I asked him if I could touch it for a minute, and I did the same thing, grabbed the rollers, and I could move it just as much as that Woodward Fab one. So much for me spending more to prevent a problem. I'm just going to brace this one like I planned on any day now. So I'm driving down to drop off some paperwork, and it occurs to me I want to stop by that same brick building and see if he has any more drops for sale. When he lists them on Marketplace, he lists them for 10 to 20 bucks a piece. So I pull in, and they happen to be just finishing up break time. And so they're all in a good mood, and I asked him if he still has any drops for sale. And he said he did. How much do you want? I said, well, this was an unplanned side trip. It was in the neighborhood of where I was going, and all I have is a $100 bill, so I guess I'll buy $100 worth. He says, come on. He grabs a two-wheeler out through the shop, which, again, lots of eye candy for me because I love sheet metal bending and working equipment. And into the back room we go. I mean, this place is just cool if you like old stuff. And he starts loading up the two-wheeler. He gives me 20 sheets. And they're about, not quite 24 by 35 or 6, not quite 3 feet, but, well, let me measure. I didn't have my homework. 31, by a long way, 24 the other way. So 24, 31. At least I got this direction, right? I just missed out on the distance. And normally he advertised them for 10 to 20 bucks a piece. He gave me 20 sheets for my $100. That's $5 a piece. That's a lot of metal to practice on. But for $100, that is awesome. And I'll put it in the pile of some of the other stuff I bought. I have various gauges because when you need this and go to buy it, you have to either buy a 4x8, a 4x10 sheet, or your other choices are only like Home Depot and Lowe's and places like that, where this would be 60 bucks for one piece. If they had it, and it's probably junk. Probably rusting right there in the aisle. So I'll go back. He says usually every spring and fall he gets rid of piles of drops. Being a sheet metal shop, they don't go much bigger than 1/8 inch, but he did give me 2 sheets of 14 gauge, which is like 80 thousandths, and this is 50 thousandths 18 gauge. So that's awesome. 18 of these and 2 of those. Speaking of raw material, the intercooler core that I dragged home last week, the Garrett, it's 4.5 inches thick and about 18 by 24. I forget the exact dimensions, but I'm going to have to build end caps in whatever configuration I want, either single or dual turbo, twin turbo. So I was buying some raw material for that. I found on eBay some sheets of 1/8 inch aluminum, 50-52. It was the most weldable aluminum according to what I researched. I was looking for 60-61, but they claimed I think it's 50-52, but I'll update you when it gets here tomorrow as to what the exact one was. But allegedly it was the chosen pieces, and if you bought intercooler end caps, that's what it was made out of. So I use that as my guide. Sometimes if I don't know, I'll go find what's available and what it's made out of to go ahead and make my own. Other times, I disappoint myself. The same intercooler project, I'm going to need some threaded bungs to attach the intercooler, however I'm going to attach it, to the radiator as a module or to the car. Eventually, it'll need some kind of threaded bung. And I was looking quickly at my assortment of raw material, and I didn't think I had any 1 inch or anything that close to it. I had some aluminum 3/8 left over from the shifter rods that I make, but I didn't think I had any of the right stuff. And silly me, I did. I just found it a minute ago by accident. So I bought 16 of these bungs, which is way too many, but again, I like to buy in bulk. If you use one and you like it, you're going to try to use it again. These are 1" 3/8 16 thread. You know, with shipping, $50, which isn't bad. It would cost a lot more at the local hardware store if they even had cool stuff like this. And somebody had to sit there and make them all. That's a lot of effort, and they're all perfect. And what disappoints me is I should have just made them myself. You're not necessarily saving money because it costs time, but that's time I enjoy. I do it on my own time, and I have equipment to do it. So buying something all done when I could have done it myself, there's a part of me that doesn't like that. And when I have my review with myself, my yearly review, and it's hard to believe I've been out on my own for 5 or 6 years now, and I've yet to get Employee of the Month, and I'm the only guy here. Well, that's it for today. I got to go chase the school bus and then come back and find a home for all this stuff. I do have a lot of sheet metal stored behind my toolbox, which seemed like a logical spot. And I have about 3 lifetimes worth. But sometimes I just can't help myself. I love a deal. I got to partially blame my mother for that. She dragged me to every flea market and yard sale every Saturday and Sunday morning when I was a kid. It didn't take a lot of dragging. I enjoyed it. Good times. So have a great day, what's left of it, and I'll talk to you soon.